Hello, Oracles. Oracle Tim here. What a great day. We are green across the indices. Tesla is up 5.5%. That is why we're wearing this bright neon. What a wonderful day. I honestly wasn't sure at first between Elon's making the statement that he's purchasing 9.2% of Twitter and then the numbers that we got over the weekend of production and deliveries. I really wasn't sure how the market was going to react, and pre-market we were just slightly green, and then when the market opened we actually went red for a little bit, so I wasn't sure how things were going to go, but then the market turned around, the whole market went green, and Tesla, as we can see, closed at 11.45. What a great day. And looking at some other stocks that were also up today, ENPH had a great day, up to 214. Kind of kicking myself a little bit. I sold off two of my higher cost shares back at around 180. I still made a nice little profit on them, so I'm not upset about it, but obviously, hindsight's 2020. Had I held on to them or bought back in at 160 when it dipped down, I'd be a little bit better off right now. But I still have some shares left, so I am still doing well on those. AMD looks like they had a decent day today. I've been looking to get back in on them, so I don't know if we're going to get a second dip. I would like to get back in. And it does look like the mega caps are doing well. Apple is up again today as well. So looking back at where we kind of traded in the past, when we saw a lot of money starting to flow into mega caps, that was kind of like a leading indicator. These were the places that people were putting money as a safe cash reserve for themselves. So not to say that something is going to happen, but we've already talked about it before about another dip potentially coming. Looking at the RSI on Tesla is now over 70. Doesn't mean it has to come back down below 70 right now. We do have the GigaFest or the Cyber Rodeo coming up on Thursday. So is this going to turn out to be a sell the news situation, or are we going to get news out of it that causes the stock to pop even more? It has yet to be seen. We may sell off the next couple of days leading up to it, which would then bring the RSI down, then going back up again after the Cyber Rodeo. Lots of things, lots of positive catalysts along the way. So if we do sell off, I'm really not too concerned in the short term. But looking at how we have been running up quite nicely across all indices, I think we are due for a little bit of a pullback. I've just been paying attention to a couple of the little different signals and triggers that we see in the technical analysis, and one of which is the RSI. And otherwise that's it. I want to stay positive on this because it is doing great, but I do have to just kind of be a wise investor and pay attention to these things. Volume was very good today for Tesla, up to 26 million shares. That's just slightly above average, which is great on a day that, we're coming off of the production and delivery numbers that were just above consensus estimates. So this is a very good sign. And another thing that I do pay attention to is crypto, and crypto has been doing very well lately. They have been climbing quite nicely. Dogecoin had a wonderful day today. We went up high. They came down a little bit in the middle of the day, but I have a feeling a lot of that had to do with Elon's purchase of Twitter, because we know Elon's affinity for Dogecoin, and the fact that he did state in a tweet that he would institute Dogecoin tips if he started up his own social media platform. Now that he is the majority shareholder in Twitter, he might get himself to a point where he's not passive like he said. He might put himself in a more active role, and something like that may actually come to fruition, and we might see Dogecoin get to that point where it's used as a currency for tipping on Twitter. And that, of course, would be a great bullish sign for Dogecoin and all cryptocurrency across the board, because that would then encourage other social media platforms to follow suit, whether it be with Dogecoin or a different cryptocurrency. Still bullish for cryptocurrency overall. So I see this as a very positive sign. All of my crypto has been doing extremely well. So even if we do get a pullback on that, I'm enjoying it long run anyway. And so we'll see what happens with Elon and his purchase of Twitter. So I'm kind of thinking that the way he'll probably end up doing it is, we talk about it all the time, which is Tesla doesn't advertise and they don't have a PR team. Most of the PR and the advertising comes from many of us over on Twitter as it is. So if he can take that platform and now utilize it in that fashion, Elon has never been one to do things the traditional way. So maybe this is his way of doing it. Radio and newspapers that's our parents' way of doing things. Some people do still read the newspaper, some do, listen to the radio, but quite honestly, that's just not where a lot of the attention is being paid right now. It is on social media, and if we can get advertising that way through this kind of platform, that could make a huge difference. And if Elon does it this way, it's basically still going to be free advertising. He just paid for it basically himself to own it, that's all. And people were joking that pretty much every billionaire owns their own newspaper or radio station or some sort of platform to, put their own ideas out onto. And so this could be Elon's. And I know one of the things that several of you discussed in the comments was, is this going to be a distraction for Elon? When he had discussed the Tesla bots on the Q4 earnings call, that was talked about as being a distraction. But in my view, it's still on the path that Tesla is going, so it's still, focusing in that direction. This now purchase of Twitter makes me wonder, is that still on this same path? We are expecting Master Plan Part 3 to be coming out soon, so hopefully he'll disclose how Twitter plays into that Master Plan Part 3. But as far as I'm concerned, anybody of you who follows Elon is well aware of the fact that he doesn't invest in things to make money. He invests in things to make a difference. And yes, of course, he's obviously made a lot of money along the way, and making that money has been his way to then further the business and further the whole plan that he has. But that wasn't his initial plan. His plan is to make a difference. And so as he's making more money, he uses that money and invests more of it to make more of a difference. And so I am really curious as to how he's going to play out this whole Twitter purchase. He does have a passive role in it currently, but as Dan Ives on Twitter had mentioned, something where down the line he might actually be more active. He's going to hold the most shareholder votes. Maybe he'll become the head of the board so that he can make more of a difference and become more active with that. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens with his master plan. But all in all, obviously the stock did quite well today despite that news. So that to me is very bullish. And we'll see how his purchase of Twitter is going to help the stock react further down the road in the future. And so going back to the whole entire main overall market, I'm looking at how we've been on this nice rally. It has been quite a relief from the first couple of months of the year to now get this feeling going forward. And just, to make sure that I'm wise about this, I'm still remembering the fact that we do have a lot of these negative catalysts still in the underlying surface going on. So it's still out there. So we do have an opportunity to get a pullback. So I am still looking at opportunities to sell out of some of my stocks that I'm not a huge fan of. So I want to try to dump out of a few of those so that I could put that money into the stocks that are doing quite well. I'm still saving up my cash reserves, so if we do get another pullback, I will be able to add more money to those. And tomorrow morning, I'm going to be sending out a video going over the timeline of different events that I see coming up for Tesla between now and the end of the summer that could help move the stock in one way or another. So if you have any different thoughts about what you think are coming up over the next 6 months, let me know in the comments so I can add them. There's a whole lot of stuff going on. There might be something I'm not thinking of. So please let me know in the comments what different catalysts you're looking at, positive and negative, for Tesla coming up in the next 6 months. If you guys have not had a chance to check it out, check out episode 6 of the Oracle Investment Club, Tesla Weekly with Vinny and myself. I will have that down in the description below. We were discussing production and delivery numbers and some other future plans and catalysts for Tesla there. Thank you all so much for watching. I appreciate all of your support and feedback. If you have not subscribed, please do so down below. Sign yourself up for notifications. I am over on Twitter at OracleTim1. I share all of the latest Tesla news, pertinent stock market information, and all of my daily trades. Thank you so much. Have a great one.